A gradual process. The Longshoremen Society in South Boston, East Boston, Charlestown, the North End were always part legit, part criminal, because everyone stole on the waterfront, everybody. You know, there was a coat company in Chelsea, Mass. That used to make special, they were called boosting coats. They were long winter coats that came down below your knees, and they were reinforced along the shoulders with wire that was sewn into the fabric, so it never lost its shape. And it was all loaded with pockets on the inside. So whatever you stole, you could stuff in all these pockets, and it wouldn't sag or anything. You know, you'd walk out the way you walked in. It's just kind of a weird coat that came out a little bit. But the guards at the gate back then were part of the Mullen Gang. The clerks were part of the Mullen Gang, so no one was going to question us anyhow.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't any one particular, okay, now we're a criminal gang. No. Nothing.
No, it was gradual.
First gradual.
You know, but what we started stealing and the amounts we stole then started to get more serious. We weren't happy with, like, pulling out Castle Island when the ships came in and filling the trunk up with cases of tuna or crab meat. We started going after trucks.
Right.
You know, we'd snatch 60-foot trailers with the drivers. You know, we'd always let them go at some point, but we would take the trailers, New York mostly. We'd drive them over the road. We had friends up there that would, we just drop it off. And we'd come back 3 or 4 days later, we'd drive up and get our money. Because there was that mutual trust. We had known them a long time. We'd drop it off, they'd sell it, and we'd go get our money. You know, and there was a few local guys that would buy a van, if we had a van full of crab meat or tuna. It's amazing how much money is in that stuff, because it's used every day. We did steal a trailer full of cosmetics, a 60-foot trailer. We hit the wrong trailer. We thought it was crab meat and tuna. And it was cosmetics, so we pulled it into the projects and opened it up and told people to help themselves. And we called the guys in New York and told them we won't be coming up. We got the wrong trailer. And they said, "What'd you get?" We said, "Cosmetics." "What'd you do?" We said, "We're giving it away." I said, "Are you guys crazy? That's worth more than the tuna." So we had to go, close the trailer up, tell everyone, "Get out of there. Just take what you got and go." And Gillette's, we robbed the hell out of Gillette Razor Blade Company because they were located in our neighborhood. Again, the security people that worked the gates were from our neighborhood. The people who loaded the trucks up on the dock were from our neighborhood, so we knew what was coming and going. And there's a ton of money in blades, a ton of money. That was probably the most profitable thing we ever robbed, was Gillette's, to the point where I'd go by there every school season and say, "Thanks for the tuition money, fellas." You know, we educated our children through Gillette's. We made that much money off them. They changed their whole system. It didn't do them any good because all the people that worked there were from South Boston. So whatever they initiated as a preventive method, we knew it before they had it finished.
Was violence useful to get the point across to make things work?
Was it useful? It was both necessary and useful, but not to be overdone. I don't want to sound like a goody two-shoes. I mean, we used it when we had to, but as little as you could. Because the more violent you became, the more attention you attracted from law enforcement, and the more they'd be determined to get you off the street. If you used it, we kept it among ourselves, and when it did happen, it was very brutal. But we tried to keep it to a minimum, if we could. There were some bloody episodes over the years.